Hello there, and welcome back to the Net Report. Chris here. I'm joined by my very happy co host Jacob. And the Celtics did it. They've won Banner 18, defeating the Dallas Mavericks 4-1 in the 2024 NBA Finals. And whoo, man, Jacob, the Celtics finally did it. They overcame everything. Over the past couple years, they've came up short, but man, I know you and Celtics fans are hype as ever can be. Tell me what you're feeling right now and what you saw throughout this series.
I've had to suffer through years of stupid Celtics takes. The Jays can't play together. This and that. Jalen Brown's not good enough. He can't juggle with his left hand. Jason Tatum's not built for the big moments. I've listened to it all. I've always shut it out because I've always believed that these two young men, they freaking proved everyone wrong. They did it. They did it together in an amazing performance collectively. I This is just like this is one of the greatest lineups we've seen built within the past 2 to 3 decades. Like it's just insane how well they play together. I don't even think that's being exaggerating or living in the moment. Like what this Celtics team, like when we look back on it, is going to be one of the best teams in history. It's just did it. Banner 18. I've dealt with it all. I've dealt with the Jonas Jerebko years. We did this for Isaiah Thomas. We did this for Marcus Smart. We did this for Kemba.
Did it for
We did
Taco
it.
Fall.
We did it for Taco Fall, and we did it for Al Horford. We got him his ring. I'm wearing Taco Fall jersey.
Nah, man, y'all put through. Y'all
This
pulled
is
through.
this is the culmination of Danny Ainge trading away the big three. This is the culmination of that
Mhm.
trade. We've
It's
seen it come to fruition.
it's crazy too because you look back at that trade and now it has its foot. I mean, it always had its footnote in history, but it has its footnotes in history as a championship now. Like them trading away the big three led to this because it led to Jalen Brown, led to Jason Tatum. It's just an insane domino effect. And like I said, this championship dispelling so many narratives. Like we even talked about it a few years ago. Like I was very much on the train of, hey, maybe you should trade Jalen Brown and for an Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard. There were so many rumors over the past couple years, especially 2021, 2022 territory before they had that big turnaround. And they proved that they can play together. They proved they could win together now. And it's great to see for Boston fans. It's great to see for them too, because obviously they always had kind of that stigma. Well, they can't overcome the big one. And they proved that wrong. You've had amazing support. And like you said about that lineup, it's one of the best, especially defensive lineups. I feel like everyone just is a dog defensively. One of the best switching lineups, honestly, of all time. Like I don't think that's exaggerating to
Yeah,
say. I don't know if I'd say best lineup of all time, just because there's so many different lineups. You're always gonna have on that Warriors lineup, that Warriors death lineup
yeah,
of
that
2017,
death lineup.
2018. But thinking just switching defensively, this team's incredible. Like you got Derek White, just phenomenal all around player. Drew Holiday, who's already a champion, multiple time All Star. Kristaps Porzingis,
Yeah,
who just incredible. The two J's. You still have Al Horford off the bench. It really, it felt like this could be their year after the Drew Holiday trade, and throughout best team throughout the regular
yeah.
season. It was just, hey, you have to prove them wrong. You have to overcome the adversity. Everyone's like, oh, playoff chokers, and everyone's gonna go by the narrative too. To be fair, they didn't have a lot of competition, which they didn't, but you play who's in front of you, and they dominated in every facet. So it's not like, oh well, you're barely winning. I mean, you
The banner doesn't
dominated.
say who you beat. It just says that
Exactly.
you won the banner.
And just impressive. I mean, happy for Celtics fans. I mean, I'm not a Celtics fan. It's not like I was over here hooting and hollering for them, but they did it, man. They overcame
They
the
did it.
adversity.
It's rare that you can kind of tell a team is not destined, but has like a large chance of winning the chip in the preseason once a trade goes down. But It really was after that Drew Holiday trade came to fruition. It's like, oh, this might be the missing piece. Like
Hmm.
this piece right here, like it did. Like Brad Stevens, just an absolute masterclass. I just just absolute masterclass by Brad Stevens. It is insane to me what he managed to pull off these past few seasons. And we'll go into it, but like stepping down as coach, moving to the front office and doing it so seamlessly, like this is his team. He built this from the ground up. Like he's been here since Tatum and Brown's rookie years. He helped facilitate the trade to get Al Horford back. He helped facilitate the trade to get Derek White, to get Drew Holiday, to get Porzingis.
There's definitely a lot of Celtics lore that kind of goes into this that a lot of people, I don't think the casual fans really gonna kind of notice. Like you have Joe Mazzulla having to take over for Ime Udoka after the whole scandal and whatnot.
four
Brad
days
Stevens,
before preseason.
Brad Stevens stepping into the general manager role, like you mentioned, going from coach to general manager, which was something really a lot of people didn't really have a lot of faith in him doing, but conducted a lot of trades. Even like you reap the benefits of Danny Ainge, now Brad Stevens, and it's all culminated in a championship. I mean, it's incredible. And like I said, it's just so
It's
many
incredible.
storylines led to this. Like, can the Jays play together? Oh, they've had their moments in 2022, 2023. Is Jalen Brown a max player? Is Drew Holiday gonna perform in the playoffs? Because there are people even talking about that. Is Porzingis really that missing piece? Is he? I mean, there was a lot of questions coming in. A lot of it's like I said, using this funny.
Internet,
It's
like
just a
talking
lot.
heads on the sports.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just noise.
But
Um,
genuine questions still. Like there were. It's not like these were like just Twitter. Real people were asking these questions too. I mean, a little bit of both
no,
there.
there were years there, like especially when Kawhi was gonna looking like he was getting traded. Like everyone was like, "Oh, trade Jalen Brown for Kawhi." When Anthony Davis was getting like the rumor where he went, like Boston was going after him, it was trade Jalen Brown for Anthony Davis. And granted, both those players won chips where they went, but this one just feels earned. Like we kept with our homegrown
Hmm.
talent. Like Al Horford isn't homegrown, but like Al Horford's ours.
No, he
Al Horford's
definitely
Celtic.
he's been there long enough to where it's like
He has groomed this team since he started here. Like it feels like forever ago that Al Horford. I think it was like 8 years ago, but it feels like forever ago that Al Horford signed, and I was so excited and ecstatic. I'm like, oh my god, Al Horford! Like, and he's just been here. Like,
we won't talk about what
man,
happened the
there's
next day, but after Al Horford signed, but you know,
yeah.
8 years later, yeah.
Someone else almost signed, and it would have been really cool if he signed with the Celtics, but F you, KD, for ruining the league for a few seasons. But yeah, I mean, I'll say this: hats off to the Mavs. You made it to the finals.
Hmm.
It,
Credit to them too. They
it's
definitely overachieved, and they're getting a lot of like crap for it. But this team shouldn't have been in the finals. Like, and that's no
it's
disrespect to them. Like,
it seems like every superstar is a life cycle. It's like even like when I'm like looking back at it, it's like Tatum won his at 26. I think he is at 27. It's like that's still so young for a player to win their
mhm,
first chip, and that's weird to think. It's like it's weird to think that that's like superstars winning it that early.
mhm,
But like it's rare. Like they talk about it. LeBron didn't win his till he was 27. He lost in the finals before that. MJ didn't win his till 27 or 28. Like Giannis didn't win his till later in his like midway through his career. So it's like Ada made his first finals appearance 2 years ago, lost. Luca made his first one now.
mhm,
He's still stupidly young. Like he's got 10 plus years ahead of him. Like there's there's no reason to panic with him. Yes, are there talking points? Sure. There was talking points 2 years ago when the Celtics lost, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, can Tatum elevate his team with his playmaking and things like that? Can Jalen Brown be a better facilitator and dribble the ball better?" Guess what? Both those guys worked on those things, and they
mhm,
showed up here in the finals, and that's why they won the finals because they got better from that losing experience. Losing sucks, but the best players they don't win them all. We're not all MJ. Like
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's MJ is the reality. Um,
And then
you're gonna lose.
and no one's gonna ever talk about, MJ losing to the bad boy Pistons multiple times in his career.
Mhm.
It's not like,
No,
which is
we talk
why,
about
I
those six
mean, it's
rings.
it's a conversation for another day, but it's why finals record is so stupid when debating all-time greats, because everyone had to overcome a certain obstacle. Like, I mean, if unless you want to count Magic Johnson, but we're talking 80s here versus like 40 years later. Like, we're never going to see a rookie finals MVP again. Just never gonna happen. Everyone's gonna have to overcome those obstacles. We've seen it with Tatum now. We'll probably more than likely see it with Luca at least eventually.
The thing
And
is, there's just
that's
so
a
much
cycle,
parity in
man.
the league. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many. Like, in all honesty, I'm gonna be blunt here. When every team is fully healthy, there's probably 10 teams, if not more, to a third of the league that has legitimate title chances. Like, fully healthy. There's 10 plus teams that probably have legitimate title chances going into
Now,
next
now
season.
more than ever, yeah.
So, like, that's a lot of teams. Like, that's crazy. That's a lot of teams. And you always have your like weird dark horses teams that overperform. And so it's like yes, I can't even explain how happy I am that we got Banner 18. It's a culmination of so many years. Like, I'm already looking forward to that next one. Like, the high is there. I want it again. But like, thing with championships, bro, is like it immortalizes you. Like, it Tatum's number is going to be retired in Boston. Brown's number is going to be retired in Boston. Horford's number is probably going to be retired in Boston. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in their prime. These guys, not Horford, obviously, but Tatum and Brown are like they're still getting into their prime. Like, we still have 10 years of each of them, a whole decade. Like, they haven't even played through half of their career life cycle yet, and it's like, who's to say they're not going to win two, three more? Like, who
Mm-hmm.
knows?
And I think that's the
It,
most fun thing about the league too now, because like past 5 years we've
is this a
had different
sick five? Okay,
2019, 2020, 2021, 2, 3.
yeah,
No,
five.
yeah, 6 years, 6 years.
Six? Is that six
6
straight
years we've
different
had.
finals winners? That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I love
And
that. I just love that for the league.
mm-hmm. So and you can say, oh, that means they're not going to come back and win, but you could also say, well, that means anyone's in contention any single year. So, which is
Correct.
great for the
It
league.
was
There's no
less than
more
a decade ago
stranglehold on
that
the league.
the Warriors did their Warriors thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to see that, but there's no reason the Celtics can't be back here next year.
Mm-hmm.
The odds aren't in their favor because, the league is that good. But I, bottom line is, we shouldn't beat up on Luca for losing. Like, this idea that if you don't win a championship, you're a bust. Like, first off, some of the greatest players of all time didn't win championships, and some of the greatest of all times only won like one, maybe two. But, like, even just getting that one,
Mm-hmm. It's huge.
like Kevin
Legacy
Garnett
defining.
only got that one. He only got that one, but it cemented his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Garnett getting that one championship.
Same
Same
with
thing for
guys
Paul
like
Pierce.
Dirk and, just so many
I
others.
promise you,
Mm-hmm.
people don't, and people give Paul Pierce a lot of crap because of his personality. But his legacy isn't what it is if they don't win that
No,
OA
of course
championship.
not. Of course not.
Like, a championship immortalizes you. Immortalizes you. Like, it's insane.
Most definitely. Most definitely. But, I mean,
Oh,
shout out.
and we
Yeah.
didn't mention it. Shout out Jalen Brown, Finals
Oh,
MVP.
yes. 100%.
It wasn't it,
100%.
it wasn't the greatest Finals MVP performance I've ever seen, but damn it, did he deserve
He
it?
proved a
He
lot of
deserved
people
it.
wrong over the last year and change, especially after that
He was the
contract.
best Celtics player in the playoffs. It was close, but he was the best Celtics player in
Tatum
the playoffs.
definitely turned it on the last 2.5 games, but man, Jalen Brown just overall, I think, besides game 4, I think he was great in pretty much every single game.
What a way to prove that you can be the best player. It doesn't have to, like, you guys
Mm-hmm.
can both be the best players. Like, there's
Shout out
not
to his
one
speech after
A.
too. Just giving Tatum and
Congratulated
everyone else
him and
credit,
Tatum. Hell
because
yeah.
it really was a
Hell
team
yeah.
effort. You look at the stats 10 years
Yeah.
from now, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, this is like I don't think anyone averaged more than 21 points per game or something." I'd have to double check the stat.
No, I don't think so.
If so,
No,
it
I
might
don't
have been
think so.
something close like that, but you didn't see someone completely take over the series. It was really a team group effort. So shout out Jaylen Brown
Yeah.
and honestly just this whole Celtics team. I expect, you know,
And they're mostly all going to be back next year. I mean,
yeah.
everyone's signed up under contract. It's a very young team. Like, this team is built to last, and we'll see what that means going
Hmm.
forward. But 2024 NBA Finals champions, Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Now the depression kicks in. No more NBA till October, which is heartbreaking,
Yeah,
but
but free agency started 14 minutes ago as of recording, technically.
well, re-sign period,
The
not free agency, but
it's still free agency, but we have the draft coming
drafts in
up.
about a
Like,
week and a
we got,
half. We'll be eating good in over the next few weeks.
well, August is when it gets kind of
Dead.
scarce,
Yeah.
but through July we're good. August we'll be looking around each other. It's like, so
So
yeah, who
NFL
do we
starting
expect to win
soon.
most improved next year?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I do be forgetting we cover NFL on this podcast too. This isn't
shoot.
a
I
basketball
mean,
podcast. It is also a football podcast.
and if we got to during the dog days of summer, we'll talk some MLB if we got to. So
That's not how you pronounce WWE.
there you go. For
Sports entertainment.
but overall, shout out Celtics, Banner 18. They got it done. They overcame everything. Shout out to the Mavs also just for getting here as well. They'll probably be back the next couple years. I can't imagine Luka not
Yeah.
making it to the finals, especially with the league being the way it is now, man. Just anything can happen. So, shout out Celtics. Anything else you want to say before we sign off, Jacob?
A West team is confirmed to win the finals next year, since the last 6 have gone east west east, or west east west east west east. So a West team's guaranteed to win next year. So
OKC
you're
Thunder,
welcome, Western Conference
put your
team.
money on them.
Book it now. Is that who you're betting on?
For fun, yeah. I mean, we'll see once we actually get towards the end of the season, but or the beginning of the season, but fun team to pick on. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Celtics Thunder next year. Book it.
But thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm Chris. This is my co-host Jacob, who's just having the time of his life. If you enjoy this type of
for James Young. We did it for James Young.
if you enjoy this type of content, hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with our content. As always, thank you for tuning in and have a great one.
Let's go.